Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're back to another Guilds of Ravnica Intermediate Swiss Draft League. We've got Connive Concoct as our rare. It's a powerful effect. We can first pick it over a Lava Coil. There's also a Gird for Battle, Severed Strands, Whispering Snitch, Hired Poisoner. These are the other good cards in the pack. We're going to take the Connive Concocts and be happy about it. It's a good card. I don't even think I've gotten a chance to play with it. I've passed it in draft before. One time I passed it while I was in Dimir for a Watcher in the Mist. Only because I didn't really have any other creatures to res that were worthwhile. What? Passed a fine finality? Okay. Taking it. It's the foil and the rare was taken, so maybe they just opened something worth a bunch of tickets. Either way, this is not the first time I've been past a fine finality as a second pick. But obviously the pick here, there's also a Ledev champion and nothing really in Dimir worth mentioning. Maybe a Devious Cover-Up, Necrotic Wound, playable, obviously more of a Golgari card, but fine finality is extremely strong. Now, technically we can splash either one, because you can still play Connive, which is kind of cool. Golgari Finebroker, looking pretty good. There's a Chemist's Insight, which is very good, but I think I'm certainly okay with the Finebroker. More color intensive than Insight, but they both generate a lot of card advantage. Well, Chemist's Insight generates more card advantage, but Golgari Finebroker gives you a really good body for a good price and generates some card advantage, which I think I like more. Yeah, so also Rampaging Monument, which currently is looking good in the deck, and a Severed Strands, but we'll take the Finebroker and be happy. Not a single complaint about that. Here, Crawl Swarm, Barrier of Bones, Generous Stray. I really like the Hired Poisoner. Kind of does exactly what this deck wants to do. Crawl Swarm has flying, but that is true. I think I'm going to take the Poisoner here. Ooh. Past the Status Statue? That's a gift. There's also some other good Golgari cards in here, but we're clearly taking this. Alright, choices now are Necrotic Wound, Golgari Guildgate, Pitiless Gorgon, and Severed Strands. I guess we can go Necrotic Wound. It's definitely a good card for this deck. One mana removal. So, even though I like the Gorgon too, I'll take the Necrotic Wound here. Okay. I love Vigor Spore Worm. Definitely taking it over Forager and Bats. Another Poisoner is pretty good. There's also a Generous Stray, which is important for these kind of decks, the card advantage, but I don't know. I just think Poisoner is really strong. There's also a Dimir Guildgate, which would help us play Concoct, which I would think is very good in this deck. Here we'll take the Severed Strands over the Guildgate. Okay, Undercity Uprising it is. Another Severed Strands. Some late blue spells that are pretty good, but I would think that we are definitely in the right deck right now. We're looking good. Crawl Swarm, I'm going to take over the Barrier. Barrier is definitely good with our Severed Strands, but this is an uncommon. It has flying. I like it more. We'll take the worst card here. Actually, we'll take the crab in case I want to splash for blue. Not that I would splash for the crab, but getting the late Guildgate's nice. Last pick white spell, so someone's trying to signal to us. But I took the blue card because we already have the Connive Concoct, so there's a chance that we want to splash for some blue. Totally don't have to, though, because we got plenty of playables for Golgari here. Although no actual mono green spells. Amara, geez. Amara is very good. But we're looking at probably the Pitiless Gorgon, which is a great card. More Death Touch, the better. There's also a True Fire Captain, Artful Takedown. Good cards in here. We're going to hope to wield a Barrier, which I think we can do. Or the Hitchclaw Recluse, which would also be good for this deck. But definitely taking the Gorgon. Great card. Vivid Revival. Well, this card's cool because there's actually quite a few things it can bring back, but District Guide is very good. I like the Portcullis Vine. Probably take the Deadly Visit. Kill spell with Surveil. Can't really go wrong. Probably wheel a Portcullis Vine. I think we're going to probably just wheel one of these green cards and be happy. But taking Deadly Visit. Feeling good about it. Two really good cards in here for us, the Price of Fame and the Bounty of Might. We're going to go Bounty just because this card is just really strong. So is Price of Fame. They're both extremely good cards, but Bounty of Might is a rare. I mean, I've played with it plenty of times to know that it just wins the game and generates some insane card advantage. So we can take the Plaza here, actually, or we could take the Shieldmate. Erstwhile Trooper is not really what I'm looking for. I think we'll take the Plaza. It actually lets us splash Concoct, which I would like to do. So we'll take the Gateway Plaza. Here, another Poisoner or a Dimir Guildgate, actually. We'll take the Poisoner. We can always cast Connive. I admit it's not super powered, but it's fine. Take it. Yeah, we're taking a Poisoner here. There's also a Dowser of Lights, which has come up a few times. It's something I've played against, but I don't really need it. I like the Necrolisk a lot. There's also a Selesnya Guildgate for some sort of white splash, but Necrolisk is kind of exactly what we want to do with Golgari. Overgrown Tomb gets some fixing. Glowspore Shaman, I think, is kind of right in line with what we're trying to do, though. Fits the curve nicely. It's a good body. It definitely is going to make the deck. Yeah. Alright, now we can take Dimir Guildgate, which is kind of cool. Connive Concoct getting more playable by the second. Definitely a lot of blue open, but not super important for us. Glaive of the Guild Pact, we do have 3 gates, but it's not bad. Otherwise, we're taking a Hitchclaw Recluse, which is also pretty good. We have these little poisoners, though. They'd be pretty good with Glaive of the Guild Pact. I think we'll take it. If we end up with enough gates, I'm going to be happy I have it. If we don't, whatever. Vine versus Recluse. Blocking flying is a pretty big deal. It's also really good with Undercity Uprising. I think we'll take it over the Vine, despite me really liking the Vine most of the time. Barrier of Bones versus Golgari Guildgate. So, Barrier's good with the Severed Strands. The Gate's good with the Glaive. I'm going to take the Gate. We're going to try something slightly different than what I usually do. I don't think we're playing the bats or the trooper. I'm just gonna cut the Golgari card. It's a late Muse Drake. Alright. I'll cut the green card. Never happened. Good sideboard card. I'm not gonna play the locket. Alright. Never happened are good sideboard cards against Dimir decks, slower decks. Response Resurgence, huh? Okay. Here, probably take another Recluse over the Dissident. It's another Severed Strands. We already have two, though, and probably don't need the Dowser, or maybe we wheel it. I don't know. But we're going to take the Recluse. So, yeah, the more gates, the merrier now with this Glaive of the Gilpact. This is actually the first time I'm going to play with this card. But I'm really liking the way it looks right now. Guildmage's Forum. We only have 3. Hatchery Spider. I mean, this pack's got everything. We wheeled Crawl Swarm last time. Discovery Dispersal, technically we can splash for that. I like Guildmage's Forum typically, but this deck it's not going to do what we need it to. Do I play the Hatchery Spider? Typically don't like that card, but could try it. I mean, this is kind of the deck for it. Thing is, we actually don't have a lot of green permanents, so it's really not that good. It's kind of cool with like a Fine Broker. Play this, get that, bring something back. It's kind of cool. Maybe we just take the Discovery Dispersal. Or maybe we just take a Poisoner. I'm going to take this because we can, the versatility alone. Jeez, and then we get another one. We need more creatures, so now I'm actually going to take a Gate. Because we've only got space for like one more card in the deck, so we want some creatures. I'm going to take the Dissident, I think, over a third Recluse. Painter is kind of what we want to do typically, but we're kind of 4-drop heavy already. Dissident's pretty good. It's a mana sink. Or I could take a third Recluse. It seems a bit excessive, but we have Glaive. It stops flyers. That is a big deal. And it's great with Undercity Uprising. Okay. I'm going to go for the... I've never played so many Recluses. Here we don't need anything. I'm going to take the Gate just to make our Glaive of the Gilpact better. So Crushing Canopy for sideboard. We can take the Siege Worm. We need more creatures. We definitely need more creatures. So I think we take the Siege Worm over Crawl Foragers and be okay with it. We'll get this deck all squared away in a sec. Dimir Guildgate, Portcullis Vine. I think we'll take the Gate. I really want to make this Glaive good to make our small creatures much more effective. Vigilance and Menace on a Death Touch thing is huge. I don't even really like the Severed Strands in here anymore. Wow. Okran Assassin with Vigor Spore Worm, with Bounty of Might, with Glaive of the Gilpact. All of that is just incredibly good. Huge pickup for us. A lot of Death Touch in here, which is great. Let's just dump these now. I don't think they're very good. Usually they're not that great in general, but particularly for our deck, I don't really like it. Guess we can take the Dowser. I don't think we play it, but We'll think about it. Got the Poisoner back, which is nice. I'm going to take it over the second Crawl Swarm, I think. We already have the one, and we can get that back when needed. I really like having all this Death Touch right now. Cheap Death Touch creatures. Alright, Vapor's at least a good sideboard card to have. Got the Gate. Could take the Painter. I think because we already have a deck, I'm going to take the Gate, but Painter would be fine in this deck too. I just don't think that we need it. Crushing Canopy back, which is sweet. Last pick, Veiled Shade, don't really need that. So we have to make a couple cuts, but I'm definitely liking what we've got here. Not even 100% on what we're cutting yet. So removal, we have Necrotic Wound, Status Statue, Deadly Visit, Bounty of Might, the Dispersal. Just a lot of options for us here. Technically, we can cut one creature, probably the Dowser. And then we cut one spell, which might just be the Discovery Dispersal. Because Undercity Uprising, like I said, with the Recluses is really good. But this is cheaper. What's our removal without Undercity Uprising? Necrotic Wound, Status Statue, Deadly Visit, Fine Finality. Maybe we don't need the Uprising. Most of our guys have Death Touch anyway. It's kind of like an expensive Prey Upon in here, honestly. And I kind of like having the versatility of this. It's cheap. Cheap Surveil is good. Helps us really find the more powerful spells in our deck. Okay. I think we're cutting the Undercity Uprising. This deck looks like a lot of fun. I've never gotten to play Glaive of the Gilpack, so I'm actually kind of excited, especially with the gate count we ended up with. I know that's a lot of gates, but we're gonna try it. Yeah. Okay. So we already have 5 green and 7 black. So 7 black and 5 green currently. Space for 9 more lands, and we need more. We need about even as we can get. So if we did this, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 black and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 green. Is that right? And we want about the same amount. I guess a little bit more black. So maybe this. So 10 green, 11 black. That's probably good. And it doesn't really matter for the blue so much, but we can totally cast our blue spells. No problem too. This deck looks fun. We'll see how much playing 8 gates hurts us, but I do definitely want to see if Glaive of the Gilpact is as good as it looks in this deck. I mean, I can't think of a better deck for Glaive of the Gilpact with all of these 1-drop Death Touchers, and the Recluses are incredibly good with it. Okran Assassin. How could I mean, this is probably the premium card to have with Glaive of the Gilpact. All of your guys must block it. Kill all of them. Alright. Definitely going to be interesting what we do here. Very, very fun looking deck. That too. Cool. Alright, well, this is it. Running it like this. We'll see you round 1. Round one, got a good hand here with the Glaive of the Guild Pact, so let's give her a go. Opponent's mulling to 5, which helps quite a bit since this hand will still be needing some help. I can guarantee you we're not going to be putting a land on top of our deck if we mill one. Alright, so we'll start with the Golgari Guildgate, follow up with the Forest into the Shaman, and then start dropping Guildgates like hotcakes here. Guildgates like hotcakes. Recluse is a great draw. Let's go Shaman now. No. Does help fuel our Glaive of the Guild Pact, but I'm not going to. So we probably just drop a Hitchclaw Recluse. That's perfectly fine. No attacks is good news, actually. Alright, so let's get our Recluse down now. And then we can start working towards that Glaive of the Guild Pact plan. Okay. I think we're just going to take the 4 for now. I don't want to double block and risk something here. Okay. So if we equip Glaive next turn, we can attack for... Oakland Assassin's pretty good too. We can attack for quite a bit though. If they double block, that's still a good trade for us. And in fact, we could even, yeah, we're just going to equip here and get in for 6. And they really don't have a good trade. If they double block, we just Necrotic Wound and, yeah, and kill them both. We could have actually dropped the Assassin, but I kind of like this more. I think I can block the Centaur here. Makes our Necrotic Wound better. Status Statue's a great draw. So I think we actually play this. We equip the Glaive. If we attack, I don't think we do yet. I think we just play the Assassin and then pass. Okay. Hmm. think that we actually play the untapped land, equip the glaive here. Kill those. And we'll status statue the siege worm, or we can block the dissident, and then if they pump, we necrotic wound, which might be better. Okay. They didn't actually attack with dissident, which is interesting. Okay. Nice draw. We'll just drop the Necrolisk here. If they attack with the dissident, we'll just take it. Okay. So we should be good now. They did really good on a mull to 5 in their defense. Our deck feels particularly well set up to fight them though, since we have 4 poisoners. Hmm. We're just gonna necrotic wound there. Guess I was supposed to equip the poisoner. Because then I guess we don't attack with the recluse. I'm not sure. I guess it didn't matter. But if I equipped this, they would have had to double block that. We would have just killed everything they had, which would have been better. Glaive was exceptionally good there. So, I mean, they've got big stuff. We could do the Severed Strands. I don't really like it. Undercity Uprising doesn't seem like it's going to do all that much either. I think our main deck is pretty well set up here. We've got just Death Touch for days. Alright. Considering they mulled a 5, like I said though, it was closer than I feel comfortable with. We're going to keep this. I guess if we have to, we can connive, which doesn't seem that bad. Okay. Well, them having a slow start is helpful. Okay. I guess I can connive that if I have to. I'd prefer not to, though. No play. That's pretty nice, actually. Glowspore Shaman's a good draw, too. We're going to jam that now. We don't need any lands. It's unexpected. That's weird. Okay. All right. So obviously we have that on lockdown. Can get rid of the Recluse to make our Vigor Spore Worm better, but we're definitely keeping the Fine Broker. Although I could have concocted it next turn. That doesn't matter, no. Because next turn we just jam a Vigor Spore Worm. Alright. That's actually a weird attack. I think we just, yeah, we'll just play a worm. Oops. Did I overtap? Guess we get in there. Sure, we'll do Fine Broker, getting back Shaman. Play Shaman. Oops. And not going to return a land. I guess we can play a land and then pass. Alright. Okay. So we can bring back, because they're going to single block it. And then we just bring it back next turn. Could also bring it back this turn, I guess. But I mean, another thing we can do is... No, I guess we keep the Fine Broker back to block. I was thinking we attack with both, they block here. I status, and then I can concoct back my Fine Broker. Actually, that is pretty good. Could attack with all three. Yeah, I think we do. Because of the status statue, basically. So... Alright, so this is actually pretty good for us. We'll take out the vigilance thing, but here's what we do. We don't use the status statue. We let everything happen. We go concoct. We bring back the Fine Broker. Oh, we want all those. Actually, we can ditch the Recluse, I guess, but... we bring back the Fine Broker. We get back the Vigor Spore Worm. We play the Plaza. We tap the thing. And we're good. Status Statue can technically blow up the Luminous Bonds too, so maybe we just win next turn. I'm not 100% on that. I guess we're a mana shy of doing that. But we probably just jam a Vigor Spore Worm here. Pump our Fine Broker. Get in there. Play the Glaive and pass. So wait, Vigor Spore Worm plus Glaive is just a win, right? Can't be blocked by more than one. Menace can't be blocked by less than. That's pretty incredible, actually. So we'll just blow up the Luminous Bond and win. I've never even seen that synergy before, but that's really strong. Just can't be blocked. That's really cool. All right, we'll see you in round two. Round two, playing first. That's a keep. Let's get those gates going. So turn two, we'll do Selesnya Guildgate plus Poisoner, and then we'll get that Gateway Plaza out plus Poisoner. Just get the Poisoner train going. Discovery's a nice draw too. And we're actually going to be able to do a Siege Worm relatively quickly too. Necrotic Wound, quite good, but we got to deal with that Surveil. Could actually play the Discovery Dispersal now. We don't have a second black mana, so I might have to wait on that. So I suppose that means we just get in with the Poisoner, play the Gateway Plaza. Play the Poisoner, play the Plaza. And be done with it. Alright. So we can do a turn 4 Siege Worm. That's pretty good. Well, maybe not anymore. Although if they make me discard it, I guess we can't kill the Spy Bug because of the Surveil here. But we can Discovery plus Necrotic Wound if I have to. Or we can just Dispersal it. That's interesting choice. They must have the answer for Siege Worm, otherwise that wouldn't make a ton of sense. I'm gonna guess a Price of Fame or something. Okay. That's weird. Oh, I guess that keeps me off the Siege Worm. Alright. Assassin is good. Okay. So the Spy Bug's getting stronger. We're gonna have to be able to answer that here eventually. So we're still shy on the Siege Worm. So we can make our Necrotic Wound better. We're gonna have to kill this Spy Bug at some point. I think we probably get in. Try and fill our graveyard so we can deal with Spy Bug with Necrotic Wound. And like I said, I can Necrotic Wound the Informant so my guy doesn't die. But we gotta find the means to deal with that Spy Bug. And the only way currently we can do it is Necrotic Wound. Well, we do have 3 Hitchclaw Recluses, which is looking good for this. We also have Crushing Canopy, which we can bring in. And we want to be on the draw. Alright. So, in pretty serious trouble here. Guess we drop the big guns and hope it's good enough. Well, there goes our Necrotic Wound. So, So this puts us dead even if we rip something to deal with the spy bug, it looks like. But like I said, I think our preference is to be on the draw. What else can we do? Well, guess we do this and hope for a misclick. I don't know. But I feel okay. We're going to bring in the Crushing Canopy. What else do we want to bring in? We can bring in the Never Happened. Might not be bad. We'll take a look at that. I think that's probably wise. That's a weird choice. Oh, it's got minutes. That's right. Okay. So we can do the Never Happened. Could technically do an Undercity Uprising, but I think we do the Canopy. So if we want to bring in these three, what could we actually swap out? Could probably drop the Discovery Dispersal, just because it's some, not even card advantage, just some, a little bit of helpfulness. I'd rather have some deal with their hand, I think. Effects. Could drop the Necrotic Wound, but it's pretty good. Maybe we just bring in one Never Happened. And then we still have to drop something. Maybe we just don't bring in Never Happened. We still have all of this stuff. Necrotic Wound is still very good in our deck. And we likely want the Crushing Canopy over a Never Happened anyway. And I don't really want to drop a creature. And I don't want to drop a Bounty of Might. And I don't want to drop any of other spells. So I think we have to do this, which is probably okay anyway. We want to be on the draw. It's a great hand. Take the Poisoner. Okay. We'll see what they grab. Probably the Glaive, I'm guessing, just based on what they saw in game one. Which is probably a good idea on their part. Actually took the Bounty of Might. I mean, that's a reasonable choice too, quite frankly. So we'll get in there, drop the Glaive and pass. Okay. Recluse is a good draw. Play the Guildgate now. We can guarantee the Necrolisk, but if not, we can still equip Glaive. I think we just make a play here. Like I said, we draw an untapped land, we play the Necrolisk. If not, we play the Guildgate and equip and attack. Both of those seem fine to me. No play, okay. So we got the untap land, which is good. So we'll swing here. Play the Necrolisk. Okay. Put a swamp and put a card on top. We'll go Guildgate, equip, and get in there. Two creatures in graveyard, which is good. Okay. Two cards on top. Recluse number 2 is very good. So we'll go Guildgate, Recluse, pass. Hopefully they don't burglar rat our thing, but if they do, I guess they get us. Alright. They got us, sadly. Still attacking, surprisingly. I'm going to check for mana sinks in our deck. I don't see any mana sinks. So the question is, do I want to sandbag the land or not? I don't know of a bunch of good reasons to sandbag, though. So I'll just play it. Okay, so we're going to have to discard our thing, which does actually hurt. I just said I don't see a reason to sandbag a land, and then we get dispersal, which I actually saw game 1, so I should have known better. So they put 1 on top. Poisoner is very good here, so let's just get the Poisoner and equip it. We're not going to offer up our Siege Worm here, I don't think. Because we have quite a few removal spells to deal with that Poisoner. So I like this more. Okay. Get in for 4. And we'll equip the glaive. Alright, looks like they're going to find another removal spell here. Or just a spy bug, I guess that's alright too. Okay. The Veiled Shade can be pumped 3 times. So that is of some concern. But like I said, we quite a few removal. If we can stick a removal here, they're in pretty big trouble. I guess that we probably just attack. And we just want this Glowspore Shaman to do some work for us alongside the glaive. I mean, we're going to be trampling, so I suppose. And we don't want the land. And we equip and pass. Interesting. Very good draw. Okay. So we statue that. And get in. Amazing draw there. Alright, cool. So they definitely should feel some regret for not getting rid of that glaive. Although we would have had Bounty of Might at this point, but glaive did a lot of work for us there. Yeah. It never happened as good in these matchups. The problem is they're going to have more card advantage than we do, I think. So, I mean, we've got a ton of powerful spells in here. So I think we just have to hope to rely on our average card being better than our opponents. I'm sure they want to be on the draw. No, they actually choose to play first, very surprisingly. We'll keep this. So, I'm probably just going Poisoner into a Gateway Plaza. Oh, well now I'm going Poisoner into Glowspore Shaman. And once again, we do not need to return a land here. Hopefully we don't get Mephitic Vapored. That could totally happen. But we haven't seen it yet. No land necessary. Did lose two pretty powerful spells there, neither of which are creatures. But I guess that's the downside of a Glowspore Shaman. Alright. Not hyper concerned about that. So let's get in there. They probably trade here, I'm guessing, which makes sense. We'll go Poisoner number 2 plus Plaza. And I guess it doesn't matter if we discard at this point. They don't have a blue mana either, which is relevant. So they can use removal. Okay, they decided not to, which is fine. Still don't have blue mana, which is nice for us. Creeping Chill Hardcast is perfectly acceptable too. But we are out of gasoline, and they've probably got a grip full of gasoline. So we're in some trouble unless we can find a glaive and some creatures, I guess. I mean, we're pretty fortunate they don't have blue mana, but at the same time, well, that's a good draw. We're not really doing that much. Bounty of Might. It's a pretty big deal. We could use it to get in for 11 right now, but I think we're going to hold off until it doesn't seem, to me, it doesn't seem good enough. Once I get a blue mana, I've got a strong feeling that a Thought Erasure is coming, but we're just going to have to allow that to take one of these. Because the thing is, it's like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me to just play it to get damage in right now when we're not in a position to win. And Thought Erasure is going to get one of these spells regardless of whether I play the Bounty of Might or not. So here, I think we'll just sandbag lands now that we know about Disperse. We knew about Dispersal, but now that we're going to play around Dispersal and Burglar Rat. Okay, well, thankfully we've got the status statue for that, because that's a pretty strong card. So they're going to get to surveil and find that blue mana, which may make the Bounty of Might the play now. I can't decide. They left 2 on top. Because, yeah, if they Thought Erasure, an extra 9 damage here is pretty big. But once they get at that blue mana, yeah, and they're tapped out, I think that we just do it. I don't want it to get erased from my hand. So we did it. Recluse. Something. They've got 6 in hand. That's pretty big. Sandbag the lands for Dispersal and Burglar Rat. Okay. So, I mean, we have Find, which can get back creatures, actually. Pretty good. No real significant creatures, but maybe at this point I just take some Poisoners and be happy about it. Did they just turn into a mono black deck? I suppose that's possible. Just going to play the Gorgon and pass. Got 5 gates currently, which is just huge. So they did swap into mono black, huh? That's pretty remarkable, actually. That they have enough to play a good looking mono black. Okay, they're not playing mono black. They didn't see, they went through half their deck before getting to that point. That's pretty insane. If we draw a creature, we could technically just kill them because they're at 5. That's huge. Or just draw a glaive. . Cool. Huge match win. We'll see you in round 3. Round 3, not a super exciting hand, but I think we're going to keep. Alright. Another Golgari deck is probably actually good news for us. Poisoner is a great draw. Keeps us busy. Another Poisoner, very good. So let's get in. Play the Poisoner, play a Guildgate and pass. Blood Operative. It's a good one. So let's attack with one Poisoner. Play the Plaza. And pass. And if they kill our Poisoner, we just kill their Operative. Which works for me. Okay. Recluse is good. So we'll just play the Guildgate, play the Recluse, and pass. Well, we're going to Necrotic Wound that. And drop the Necrolisk. I guess that we can attack with the Poisoner. And then drop the Necrolisk. So Recluse is probably less good in this match just because green-black typically doesn't have a lot of flyers. So something to be conscious of. Okay, Crawl Forager, so we'll statue that and start bashing away here. Siege Worm, great. I think we offer the Necrolisk trade. So I'd rather just get the Gorgon off the board and keep our Siege Worm around. So they're gonna snap off the Vine here, which makes sense. And I think I'm actually ultimately okay with this Necrolisk trade. I think it's perfectly a reasonable trade. So we'll drop a Siege Worm, and once again, I'm hoping to not get punished for no Sandbag. We're not playing against blue this time, so I feel like it's less important, but we'll find out. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, it's pretty good value. You get the, I guess they just get the Vine and an Operative. That's not that broken. We do, they do work against our graveyard plan a little bit here, since we have Find and Vigor Spore Worm. But Hitchclaw Recluse being a good blocker for Blood Operative is actually kind of nice. And then we just find the finality now. So our choices are I still feel like Find is probably better right now. So let's just get in with the Poisoner, play Find, get back our Necrolisк and a Poisoner, and drop them both. If we can. I think we can, yeah. I mean, I can hold up the Find. I don't think that I do, though. I think we just get some card advantage going here. Them getting that Siege Worm was pretty timely for them, though. Alright, not super intimidated by that. Another Poisoner is good. A lot of Poisoners. Okay. One card left. Sure. Bounty of Might. Yeah, that is a good one. Okay, that makes sense. Can't block it, so wow. Glaive has just been incredible. Such good value. I've seen a lot of Lockets played. Admittedly, I did play it in Big Boros, but that's the only one. So we just attach it to this little guy over here. Get in there. Okay. All right. So mirror match. We want to be on the draw. We can do never happened again. Didn't see any flyers for crushing canopy. I don't mind doing never happened. Is there something that's bad that we have? Yeah, the Hitchclaw Recluses, like I said, are not particularly good in this match. They're not bad either, but I would hope to find better. So we probably bring in a Dowser for a Recluse. And honestly, maybe even a Shade. I just don't think we're going to deal with flyers, so we just probably don't need the Recluses. I don't want to cut a creature here, though. So I can cut the Discovery Dispersal for a Never Happened. And I think that's ultimately okay. Exiling is a pretty big deal. We'll see if they want to be on the play. We want to be on the draw, so I kind of want them to be on the play. Because we're both slow decks. We'll see if they've come to that same conclusion. Not to not play first. So they did definitely come to the same conclusion, which I agree with, which is this is going to be a war of value. So we'll drop a Veiled Shade here. Okay. Kitty. Good value for him. So we'll... That's a good draw. Really good draw. Yeah. So we just get in with the Shade. We go Guildgate, Poisoner, Glaive. Not necessarily in that order. Then pass. And they've got some work to do. I mean, they kind of have to just deal with that Glaive. Iron Shell Beetle. Makes sense. Alright, so... Yeah, what do we want to do here? We can... Yeah, I think we just equip the Poisoner. Get in. They can double block our or they can block our Shade. Double block it. I'll kill this Stray. It ends up being okay. Not great value for us since the Veiled Shade can be inflated, but ultimately I think it's okay. Because they used the Beetle to pump it. We got a body off the board. And it was a 2/3. And we can block with the Poisoner. Unless they double block here. So I feel like we get a lot going. We got a lot going for us here. Yeah. So Choices now. Dowser or Crawl Swarm. I think I'm going to play the Dowser, and the reason is it's got a lot of toughness. So Crawl Swarm just dies to like a dead weight, whereas Dowser takes some more finagling to kill. Once again, we didn't have to trade off the Veiled Shade there. I don't know, I didn't mind it so much. Okay. Siege Worm's good. Let's just equip here and get in. So they take it. I think we still play the Glowspore Shaman. No land return. It's actually really nice too because we didn't want those 3 lands. So technically they can use a pump spell to kill both of our guys, but that's alright. Okay. Alright. So we can just hardcast Siege Worm here, which we'll do. I mean, they kind of... I feel like they kind of have to, but we'll still not risk it and take it here. Okay, we gain some life. So let's just equip. Get in. Kill him, deal some trample. Play a Necrolisk. It could be bluffing, but I'm not going to risk it. Okay, so they're going to fight our guy successfully here and get an attack in. Maybe the Veiled Shade in hindsight. A little bit of a regret, but that's alright. We're actually a gate shy of just lethal next turn, which is pretty big. Okay. A beetle and a stray. It's pretty good. If we can just... Oh, they get the assassin. Never mind. If we rip a gate, we just win. We only have 3 gates left, I think. Or we just rip a Vigor Spore Worm, we win. We have a couple actual just win cards. Yeah, that is so mean. Wow. Incredible. Huge win. Super fun deck. It's the best I've ever seen Glaive of the Guild Pact be, and I've played against it a few times. That was absurd. So this turned out to be a great candidate for it, and I'm super happy we played it because it basically won us every single game. Not even every match, every game in this draft. It feels like Glaive got us there. So hope that was a lot of fun to watch because it was a lot of fun to play. And we only cast Finality once this whole draft too, and we were still just critting with this deck. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back for the next one. We'll see you then.